Hello, everyone. You're listening to the Socially Desi Show, the podcast that motivates you to live, create, and inspire. If this is your first time here, welcome. On our show, we discuss tips and strategies with our guest speakers on how to tackle problems related to personal growth, mental health, relationships, business and entrepreneurship, and health and fitness. So hit that subscribe button and go check out our website at sociallydesi.com for more of such content. Today, I'm joined by Gaurav Gurbaxani. He is the founder of Digital Market, which is an equal opportunity marketplace for digital marketing products and services. Gaurav is a part of an alliance with India's top digital marketers and has been a key speaker at several Indian and international events. With that, I welcome Gaurav on the Socially Desi show. Hi, Gaurav.
Hey Anurag, thank you so much for having me here. Really excited about today's podcast.
The pleasure is all mine, Gaurav. Thank you so much for taking out time from your schedule and doing this episode. Guys, today's episode is really interesting. We're going to dive deep into digital marketing. We're going to dive deep into how we can democratize the digital marketing space, especially for freelancers and small businesses. So we'll get on to that before moving towards the main theme of our episode. Gaurav, why don't you tell our audience a bit about your professional journey so far?
Sure, Anurag. Well, professional journey started quite some time ago. I started my first business. So I actually earned my first money when I was 14 years old. And I earned that money on the internet. So that was now looking back at it 21 years ago. And ever since then, I've always really been fascinated with the internet. I took a slight detour to do my college and the regular education, which now I kind of look back thinking whether I should have done it or not. Uh, and then I got a job. I got a job in this really cool company in Mumbai
Okay.
that taught me a lot about digital marketing and the internet and stuff like that. So that was my initial start. And 2 years into my job, I realized that I just needed to start my own business. I had this major itch of starting my own business. So I started an agency when I was about 21, 22 years old. And I've been in the same space now for about 15 years running a digital marketing operation.
Wonderful. And what was the inspiration behind Digital Market?
So the inspiration behind digital market actually started when we had a typical digital marketing agency.
Mhm.
And what I mean by typical digital marketing agency is that we had like an office in Pune. We had not one, but we had actually 2 floors full of employees. Everybody who would come to the office and, like a typical office,
Yeah,
computers and
yeah.
desks and chairs and electricity and coffee and all that fun stuff. And over time, we saw that like a lot of our employees, they would either need to move out of Pune, or they'd be getting married. Someone might be having a kid. Someone might just want to go for a holiday and stuff like that. So we started this concept of working from home back in 2012, where you didn't have to come to the office. You could choose if you wanted to come to the office, or you could choose if you wanted to work from home.
Mhm.
And we ended up paying the people who used to work from home a little bit more money because, they used to work on their own computers, their own internet, their own electricity and stuff like that. So then more and more people wanted to kind of start working from home. And as a business, we really liked that. We really liked that because it gave us a lot more flexibility. It reduced our overheads a lot and stuff like that. So that was one aspect of it, where you can work from anywhere. You don't necessarily need to be in Pune. You could work from anywhere and still be part of a community. And the other aspect of it is that I feel in general, Indians, many people, they are racially discriminated against,
Mm.
depending on the color of your skin, depending on who you are, what you look like, your first name, last name, your religion, your orientation. People are just generally like discriminating, which I personally don't like. I'm sure nobody likes it, right? Nobody likes to be
Yeah,
discriminated
yeah.
against. So that was the other part of being an equal opportunity network, saying that like as long as you're really good at your skill, you do what you say you're going to do, you're welcome on board. We're going to respect you for your knowledge. We're going to respect you for your skill. Nothing more, nothing
Mhm.
less. So that's kind of the equal opportunity angle to it.
And how do you uniquely identify yourself with respect to players like Fiverr or some other platform? How is it different?
So I would say Fiverr has been a huge inspiration for us. Back in
Hmm.
2012, when I saw Fiverr, I was like, wow, what is the point of having a digital marketing agency where you can like literally outsource everything on the internet, right? You're using a
Correct.
platform like
Yeah.
Fiverr. It's quick, it's cheap, it's fast. You're going to find like so many good gigs over there and stuff like that.
Hmm.
So we've taken a lot of inspiration from Fiverr. What kind of differentiates us a bit is that we're a social e-commerce platform, which means we want people to actually build relationships over here. We want people to build virtual teams over here. Fiverr's primarily, you buy one gig and you're done. Where we want to really have our USP is you don't just find one person one time. You actually work with an entire virtual team as compared to a single vendor. So that's where we really want to kind of jump in and let people work with teams as opposed to individuals. And then one thing is that everybody who is on digital market, uh, we ensure that they are certified. We ensure that they pass a lot of examinations.
Okay.
We make sure that they can actually do what they're saying they're going to do, because we don't want a scenario where customers are like not happy.
Hmm. Yeah, that's interesting because I think I think this can be one of the key pointers that differentiates the platform with respect to a player like Fiverr and Freelancer, because when you are making sure that your whosoever is there on the platform is certified, I think that gives a lot of credibility to the person and even to the businesses who are trying to outsource the project, right?
Yep, I'm happy you think that way because that's where we really wanted to go. And it's quite a difficult examination, if you ask me.
Hmm.
We've partnered with this company in the US called Digital Marketer, and they're
Okay.
pretty well known for their certifications and stuff like that. So, in order to start selling onto digital market, you really need to have gone through hours and hours of training material. You need to pass an exam. And then, in many cases, you form part of a virtual team just when you get started. So, there is that element of mentorship, there is that element of safety, even as a freelancer, right? We understand that as a
Right.
freelancer, it can be pretty scary, like you can have not so nice customer as well, right? Whose
Yeah.
demands
Yeah.
are, but it's both sides. It's completely both sides. So this is where the network effect really comes in. So we're able to form micro teams, even if you're stuck as a freelancer alone. You know that you have a network. You know that you've got a community that can get the job done for you.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And that's what we are discussing here on the episode. We want to discuss about how we can democratize the whole digital marketing landscape in India, especially with the gig economy, which is upon us. And we see, like, you did that back in 2012. You saw that opportunity. You started giving more pay to your employees who started working from home. And now with this whole pandemic in place, we are seeing more and more companies drifting towards this trend of work from home. And a lot of like I've seen a few companies like my brother who works for SAP. They actually have declared like an entire year for work from home. So until 2022 nobody is coming back to office, and it saves a lot of money for the businesses as well. So now when you see this gig economy being flourishing in India, what do you feel are the future trends in the digital marketing space with respect to countries like India, developing countries?
So I think India is really poised to profit from the gig economy.
Hmm.
And like you said, this entire pandemic has gotten the world more connected digitally.
Yeah.
And as a business owner, it doesn't matter which country you're from. As an entrepreneur, it's kind of inbuilt into you that you need to find resources that are available to you. You need to find resources that are cost efficient. In many cases, cost is a huge, huge, huge differentiating factor. But the interesting thing is that the internet makes everybody an equal, right? So
Yeah,
now, whether I'm sitting in India, whether I'm sitting in Dubai, whether I'm sitting in Singapore, whether I'm sitting in the US, UK, any of these countries, technically it doesn't really matter, right? As long as if I can do my job. Anyway, no one is meeting each other
true.
face to face. So it's not long till the West primarily realizes that the East is extremely capable of execution and at a
Mm,
fraction, at a bargain of the cost of a full time employee or a freelancer anywhere else. Here, you could probably hire an
true.
entire team, and I'm not exaggerating, you can hire an entire team
Yeah,
at
yeah,
one person's salary elsewhere, right?
true.
So
Yeah.
once people do realize that, once people realize that, and it's in everybody's face that you can save 10x your cost, you can save 20x, 100x your cost. That's why I said I think India is poised to really, really profit from this opportunity.
That's interesting, that you talk about this fact that you can actually hire an entire team of, let's say, 5 or 6 individuals, or sometimes 10 individuals, at the cost of one employee salary in the US, which is very true. And India has always been, I think, the tech service economy for the world, right? We have Tata, TCS, we have Infosys. So all these companies are here, and they are servicing a lot of these clients in the US and the UK. uh, are there any myths that you see going around when it comes to freelancers and small businesses? What sort of myths do you see, and would you like to burst some of them?
Some kind of myths. So, we have like a two-sided model, right? Where we work
Hmm.
with customers on one side, typically business owners. And then on the other side, also, we work with freelancers.
Hmm.
So I think like one myth which has really busted itself has been the last like 2 years.
Hmm.
Till 2 years ago, we were talking to people and they would not understand that we were a virtual company, and they would call us from Delhi and they'd be like, "Can you come to office?" And we're like, "Dude, we are in Pune. We don't."
Hmm.
And they're like, "So you're not going to come and build the website in our office?" And we're like, "No, we'll just build it like online and send it to you online." And they're like, "You know what? We actually prefer a company locally and stuff like that." And we're like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah. We totally,
Hmm.
totally understand." So I think that by itself has been busted, right? Because now whether you're in Delhi and someone calls you to their office, you're still not
Correct.
going to go, right?
True.
So location absolutely has been busted, which I like, because we had still struggle with this question a lot, saying that, "Oh, can you come to office? Can you come to office?" And we didn't have an office, so you'd never even call people to office. So that was one pretty good thing. The second is I feel that there's certain bigger companies, and see, freelancing is not for everyone. And we
Hmm.
know, like for a fact, that a Fortune 500 company or a big company, they are not interested in working as freelancers. Right? They
True.
don't require. They can hire like large agencies, and they're not going to be like, "Let me build my own team" and stuff like that. So I think you
Hmm.
need to
Hmm.
really understand who you are, what are your goals, what are your budgets as well, and then find something that works for you. Even like for freelancers, I tell them the same thing is like, look for, small and medium business owners. You might get like an appointment with a big company, but when they ask you about your team and you're saying like, "I work from home," they're just going to be like, "No, this is not for us." So I think there's a market for everyone. There's definitely a market for
Yeah.
everyone. It's important to first figure out who is your audience. Who is your audience? Who do you want on your team? And at the same time, like with a virtual team, you can get anything done. You can get
Yeah.
literally anything done. Our website, our business, digitalmarket.com, I would say we started the day there was a lockdown.
Hmm.
The day there was a lockdown, we're like, okay, we're going to just run with this. We're going to make sure that our business is not impacted. In fact, we're going to look at growing our business,
Hmm.
which we were able to do in the last like 2 years. So myths are, I think, even right now, there's opportunity. You don't need to wait for things to get better. The internet is open 365 days, 24 by 7. So if you're a business owner with an idea, then just get online and start selling, Don't wait. Don't wait for the
True, true.
perfect time.
I completely agree with that. And, one of the things that you said just now was that not everybody requires a freelancer. Not everybody requires a solopreneur to work for them on their project, right? Because big companies will have different requirements, different companies will have their different requirements. And I think there's everything for everyone out there. So as per your needs, as per your ideas, your requirements, I think you have somebody already present. You just have to figure out where to find them and how do you engage with them. So are there any tips that you would like to share with businesses, especially when it comes to hiring freelancers or solopreneurs? What are the things they should do in order to start a good engagement and keep that engagement healthy and get results?
I love this question. I think the first thing, at least that I do, this is my standard practice, is to look at freelancers with reviews. Now, whether you're on Fiverr, or whether you're on Upwork, or whether you're on Digital Market, whether you're on LinkedIn, I definitely want to see other people having done some business with you.
Mhm.
The second is I'm going to want to see my vibe with them, how I connect with them, their language, how they're communicating. And then I'd always start with a small project, something really, really small. Because I believe if someone delivers something on
Mhm.
time, whether it's big or small, the first time, the chances that they're going to do it again for you are way more likely.
Right.
So start small and then scale. Start small, then scale. And I would say that don't think of it like an arranged marriage in
Mhm.
India where you find one freelancer and you take out everything from that freelancer. Whether he says, I'm going to do your website, then you don't tell him to now also do my Google and also do my podcast and also do my video editing and also do this and also do that. That poor guy came to you saying that he can do one thing and now you're trying to take out everything from him. Obviously, he or she's not able to do it. And then frustration starts and then rudeness starts and then both of you lose respect for each other. And in my experience, there's no coming back from that.
Yeah. True.
So just keeping it like super simple, the gig economy means it's more like Tinder as opposed to an arranged marriage. It's more
Mhm.
like, let's see how this goes. If it works, well and good. If it doesn't work, catch you later. You've not cost me too much time. You've not cost me too much money. I'm not going to be overly angry or upset about it. Right. And when you go through like a sea of freelancers, you're automatically going to build better relationships, right? You're going to see who's delivering good work. You're going to see who's punctual. You're going to see who's affordable. And then you cherry pick your team. And then you say, okay, I want this guy for graphics. I want this girl for PR. I want this one to do my SEO. I want this one to do my website, whatever it is. And then you can really create a beautiful virtual dream team.
Mhm. Interesting. Yeah, I think that's true when it comes to hiring freelancers. One person cannot do everything, and even that works for even bigger organizations also. This is one trend that I've seen recently. That for one person is doing multiple tasks, and at the end of the day, none of these tasks are being executed perfectly. So at the end of the day, even though you are you know uh, squeezing out more productivity from the person, but the results are not satisfactory. The results are below par or just average. So I think instead of doing those average executions, have different freelancers or different people for different jobs, so that at the end of the day the ROI actually is better, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And Gaurav, so this was from the perspective of businesses. But when it comes to freelancers and digital marketers who are just starting off, or maybe people who want to do a side hustle while working somewhere else, what sort of tips would you like to give to them? And like you said, earlier, that freelancers are not for everybody. I'm sure freelancing is also not for everyone. Like everyone cannot think that they can do a side hustle always, or maybe you can be a freelancer, leave your job and become a full time freelancer. I think that is also something which is not always feasible. So what are your tips to people who are planning or thinking of starting their own side hustle or maybe getting into freelancing?
Sure. So I always tell my community that if you call yourself a freelancer, you might as well call yourself a business owner, because there's
Mm,
no difference between the two. Your business might be freelancing, but at the end of it, you're an entrepreneur, you're a business owner. So you need to start thinking like a business owner. And similarly, like starting a business is not for everyone, right?
yeah.
Some people are very comfortable with a job, some people want to start a business. I think freelancing or side hustle gives you the middle ground to get started.
Hmm.
Some tips that I have for freelancers is, first and foremost, is if you want to become a freelancer, if you're interested in becoming a freelancer, then you should study something in that space. There's hundreds of
Right.
courses available on Udemy. There are like thousands of courses that are available on YouTube and Linda and stuff like that. And you should be like so passionate about learning this stuff even before you begin freelancing, that you know that this is for you or it isn't for you, right?
True.
You've gone through so many courses, you've invested your own money. And I'm not saying like a lot of money that you have to go to an IIM or you have to go to some fancy degree or something, but
Yeah.
enroll in these courses. Some of them will be like really good courses, and you're going to get to learn from that. If you're able to complete these courses, then the next thing that you should do is apply exactly what you learned. So if you've done a digital marketing course, then as simple as doing your digital marketing for yourself, setting up a simple funnel, setting up a simple email, or doing a website, or doing SEO, or whatever it is that you want to start doing. And this kind of helps you skip the first stage, which is in getting customers. A lot of people, they don't know how to get customers, or they don't feel confident in being able to handle customers, or those customers will say that, boss, you've not done business before, you have no reviews, why should I
Hmm.
take you?
Yeah.
So I think the magic answer, the magic trick over here is to really become your first customer, become your own customer.
Yeah.
What I mean by that is, say if I want to sell websites to people, if I'm a
Hmm.
WordPress developer, then the least that I should have is at least a very killer, sexy website for myself on WordPress.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You're saying absolutely, and I also feel like absolutely, but I'm still surprised to see a lot of freelancers. They'll come and they'll pitch me, and I'm always interested. I'm always looking for talent. But I'll ask them a simple question like, "What's your website?" They're like, "Oh, that's a work in progress." And and you're telling me that you want to build me a
Mm,
website. So I think that's like a big red flag. Yeah, it might be a pet peeve for me, but I just feel that you got to practice what you preach.
true. True.
You have to practice what you preach. And the flip side is also true. Is supposing you did have like a killer super website, and you show it to me saying that, hey, this is my website, and I look at it and I really like it. I think it looks great. I think the speed is awesome. I think you've got the right color combinations and so on and so forth. Then my doubt of you being able to build me a website like this is almost nothing, right? Meaning, like,
Mm,
boss, you've done
correct.
it for yourself. You'll be able to do it for me, right? So I feel that's like super, super simple. And this should be for everything. So if you're offering Google My Business as a service, then you should have a Google My Business with reviews. You should be ranking in Google for some keywords. If you say you're a video editor, then have a killer video edited for yourself.
True.
So that's like the personal branding that you need to do with the education that you've just invested in, and do it for yourself. Be so passionate about it that you do it extremely well for yourself that other people notice.
I completely agree with that, Gaurav. And even, when I meet people and we have these kind of discussions, I keep telling them that at the end of the day, you need to have a website, or at least, showcase your work either on Dribble or have it on Instagram or wherever possible. Like, you need to understand and figure out which platform works for you and where you can, redirect your traffic, your customers to, and it should be one place where they can see who you are, your personality, your style, your designs, or whatever you do, and they should have some sort of a connection with you. And from there, I think the things get rolling very easily, right?
100%, 100%. And supposing you send them to a Dribble page, or like I said before, Fiverr or Upwork, and I see that they've got like 10 reviews or 20 reviews or 50 reviews, in some cases 100 reviews, then the tables turn immediately. You're not selling to me, I am chasing you to do my work.
True.
So that's super important. And we live in a review economy as well. So people who take care of the reviews, and it kind of makes sense, right? People who get good reviews are people who do good work. People who do good work get good reviews.
True. I completely agree with that. And you spoke about doing these courses from Udemy or somewhere else. There are so many free courses that you can do from Google itself or from LinkedIn. Uh, During these times, what I have noticed is that apart from these websites, which are well reputed websites, you already have thousands and thousands of courses there. You can trust these websites, but then there are a few wannabe online guru kind of a thing, which has propped up recently, and they're everywhere, right? And I'm it becomes really difficult for somebody like me to figure out who is a genuine online educator and who's a wannabe. Can you shed some light on this, and maybe how can we educate our audience to make an informed decision?
Sure, absolutely. So I think that's a really good question. And unfortunately, I feel sometimes you're just going to have like a negative experience both
Mm,
ways, whether you're a coach creator or you're a consumer. One way that I kind of like to think about it is, what are they offering? Like
mm,
what is the end product? What's the end goal what is their promise, right? In many cases, you're going to see a lot of these push button, get rich quick kind of schemes, like
yeah,
pay this amount of money, pay that amount of money. And the general rule of thumb is that if it seems too good to be true, it's probably not. So I think social media is like a really good way to expose bullshit as well. You
true,
can
true.
look at profiles. Any decent guru or any decent digital marketer, they're going to have their own communities. They're going to have their own groups. They're going to do their own webinars.
Yeah,
And there's so many other platforms that you can even like look at reviews, right? You can look at Google
yeah,
Business. You can look at Amazon. Have they written a book? Do they have a YouTube channel? Are they verified on Twitter? And there's going to be that something that you're going to be able to tell whether it's true or false, at least as long as you get more mature in the industry. So initially, I would say is just stay away from the shiny penny syndrome, which is make millions overnight, no product, no this. If they advertise that it is hard work, it takes time, they're able to showcase
yeah.
their results, their proof, their journey, which is verifiable, I think that would be like a good choice. That would be a good choice.
True, true. And one of the things that genuine, educators and digital marketers do is that they will never give you an offer like 20,000 and then they will slash it down to 499. I think that kind of a ridiculous discounts and pricing, and on top of that they'll tell you that you get worth 50,000 or 1 lakh bonus, which is completely free. I think those kind of things for me are red flags when I see these kind of offers and offerings on their post or on their ads. That's like a red flag to me.
So I would say yes and no, like to a large, to like a really large extent, to a very large extent. Like I'll give you example, which is our case, right?
Mhm.
Now you're calling yourself a digital marketer, right? You're a marketer.
Mhm.
And a marketer's job is to convince people to purchase something from a company, right?
Right.
Now, human beings are not necessarily all as smart as you. And when they do feel that they're getting this much value additional, they're way more likely to convert. Now,
Mhm.
you can look at that analogy on Amazon as well. You're going to find products on Amazon, suddenly you're like, wow, this is 50% off.
Yeah.
You go to a restaurant and they've got 10% off on dessert. So, offers in general make people convert. They encourage people to convert.
Yeah, but I
And
think those ads, like those offers, those discounts should be sensible enough as well, right? I mean, a 50% is okay, 60% is also okay, but when you see offers which are 99% kind of a thing, and then on top of that you have like so many thousands and thousands of rupees which are termed as bonus free bonuses. I think that somehow gives me like a red flag feeling.
sure, sure. No, I can totally get it. I totally understand what you're saying. And in many times, like I'll look at something that I'm interested and I'm like, dude, when are you going to get over with the bullshit and just give me the real price,
True. Yeah.
The at the same time, like scientifically, it's proven from a sales perspective, is when you do benchmark high, and then when you do add bonuses, I know most of these bonuses are digital bonuses.
Yeah.
So after some time, you're going to see higher conversions. But I can totally understand that it annoys some people. But we do it, and we see better conversions as well. And the psychology behind of doing it is to increase sales, so which is something that we do teach in digital marketing as well.
Wonderful, wonderful. So, Gaurav, before we wrap up today's episode, any final trends that you would like to see, or you predict that there'll be some trends in the next couple of years in the digital marketing space in India?
So I think one major trend that I'm super duper excited about, Anurag, is like the gig economy.
Mhm.
It's a trend that's starting right now, and it's going to really, really become huge. I think of it like, where suddenly all the call centers in India popped up, right? Half the
Yeah.
call center support, everyone, what do you do? Like they are working a call center. I think that's going to change towards digital marketing in
Mhm.
the gig economy, where majority or bulk of the execution is actually done in India, because
Right.
it just makes sense. We understand the internet. English is decent. We work hard. It's significantly cheaper than rest of the world. So I think that's going to be like really, really awesome, at least for us over here in terms of the economy.
Mhm.
Another trend that I'm betting pretty big on is what happens next after the gig economy. What happens next once the gig economy kind of settles in. And I think that robots, digital marketing robots, are going to be a really big opportunity as well.
Okay.
So where
Mhm.
you're working with things like Siri, you're working with things like Alexa, and they become your virtual assistants, and they'll be able to start executing your day-to-day tasks.
I am super pumped about this because I've been reading a lot about Audio 2.0, and that's all about how we can use voice as the next search engine, and everything becomes voice oriented. Everything is voice activated. I mean,
Yes.
you don't have to type in the socially desi show. You can simply say, "Hey Siri, play the socially desi show," and it will play on your favorite app. I think that is really interesting. And somebody like today, I think a few of these competitors, I think Apple and Spotify, they are actually experimenting with this, and Amazon is also there. They've already started to do some sort of tests where if they want to search for this episode where I'm interviewing Gaurav, they can simply search, or they can simply say play the episode where we are talking to Gaurav, and it will automatically play. I think that's the power of audio. And I think I'm super pumped about that. So with AI and with audio, the future for digital marketing and in general, I think it's gonna be bright.
Absolutely, Anurag. Really, really excited. I think you said it better than I did. And thanks so much for having me on Socially Desi. Really appreciate talking to you.
No, it was great fun, Gaurav. Thank you so much for being on the Socially Desi show. Guys, go check out digitalmarket.com. We'll be putting the links in the show notes below, as well as Gaurav on LinkedIn will put his LinkedIn profile. So if you want to get in touch with him, get more ideas from him, or maybe if you want to work with him, please go and get in touch with him on LinkedIn as well. With that, thank you so much, Gaurav, on being on the Socially Desi show.
Appreciate it. Talk soon then.
So that wraps it up for today, folks. If you liked the episode, give it a big thumbs up, share it with your friends, and let's go viral. Remember, our weekly podcast features episodes on personal growth, mental health, relationships, business and entrepreneurship, and health and fitness. We would love to have Gaurav on our show again in the future to talk more about the gig economy and digital marketing in India. So, if you haven't yet done so, hit that subscribe button and go check out our website at sociallydesi.com. And as always, before I sign off, remember, life is black and white and everything in between.